and welcome to Woodbridge, the best town around. My name is John McCormick. I'm the mayor of this great town, and we're here today for a special proclamation presented to the Safe Soil Movement, Conscious Planet Safe Soil 2026. To my right is Shashank Gupta, an Oak Tree Road and Green Street businessman. He's one of the largest importers of fabric from India in the United States. And Chaitra is with him. She's a member of his organization. I'm also joined by Council President Sharon McAuliffe and 5th Ward Councilman Debbie Mean. And to my left is Tom Flynn, who works in our Sustainable Division, doing a whole lot of great things. So I'm going to basically turn this over to you because you know this way better than I do, and I would not do it justice to explain what the Safe Soil Movement was and why you asked us to do a resolution in support of it. I got to tell you, not being an environmental expert, I turned it right over to Tom. So the reason you're here is because he said it's okay. So let me turn it over to you and tell us all about the movement and why you asked for this and how it all works. Go ahead.
Sure. So firstly, thank you, Mayor, for doing this. So Safe Soil was a movement that was started by Sadhguru, and it basically stemmed out of the fact that we have this massive problem that a lot of people don't know about but experience on a daily basis. It's basically we are getting weaker, our health is getting weaker because our soil is getting weaker. And a lot of people think these are problems that we don't face in the United States, but 52% of US topsoil has already been degraded. And increasing organic content in the soil itself can fix a lot of our problems. Firstly, when it comes to nutrition, back in 1920s, our grandfathers or great-grandfathers, the amount of nutrient they used to get from one oranges, we need to eat eight times as many oranges today to get the same level of nutrients. I'm 35, I've started taking supplements, and the reason we're being forced to do that is because our soil is not as rich as it used to be. So the kind of macronutrients that we get from our soil, we're not getting that anymore. Not only that, if we increase organic content in the soil, it really helps us solve a lot of other problems as well. In terms of carbon emission, soil that has more organic content can sequester more carbon. It's actually significantly more effective than EV cars. It can help stop droughts because soil that's rich in organic content can hold water longer, our water tables will be higher. It can prevent us from more forest fires because, again, if there is higher water content in the soil, you'll have less trees that are like matchsticks that can turn into flames like that. I know it's usually not been a problem in Jersey, but we had that problem last year where we had forest fires here. I know California is dealing with it, so it's something that we really need to be aware about, and part of the reasons why I really joined the movement was there was a line that really hurt me where we're essentially eating the soil that we're eating the food that's meant for our kids because the soil is getting depleted to a level where we have maybe 60 cycles of agricultural rounds left before we run into major food shortage issues. So if we don't tackle this issue now, and if the young kids are the ones that are not talking about this, they're the ones that are really going to suffer it. So yeah.
How do you tackle it?
How do we tackle it? So we made a lot of policy recommendations. Actually, EU about a month ago just signed into law some of the policy recommendations that the Safe Soil Movement made. We're talking about this is not a fight against fertilizer companies. This is really more about bringing organic content back to the soil again. So back in the day, farms used to have trees on them. We didn't basically just plow the land and leave it empty the entire time because all the microorganisms that are in the soil tend to die with the excess heat. So the recommendations that we're making is we want farmers to be able to have more trees. And there are different solutions for different climates, but here it would be having more trees on the soil, and the farmer needs a little bit of hand holding while that happens because of course their income in the short term is going to go down, but over the long period their income will go higher, and we've seen examples of this happen already, and there are case studies for this on consciousplanet.org if people want to read about it, how farmers' incomes have 300x that have implemented having more animals back on the farms, having more trees back on the farms, so they can introduce more organic content in the farms.
Interesting. Tom, you want to add anything? When I give this to you to say, look it over, what is your reaction?
Yeah, I think everything's been said there. I mean, it's just a fantastic movement. Soil health is the cornerstone of all sustainability initiatives, and I applaud all the work that are done. The second I saw them here, I thought it was a great thing to jump on, and thank you guys so much for bringing it to our attention. Appreciate it.
All right, great. How about we take some pictures if you don't mind? Move this out of the way, yeah. Everybody be a little closer in the middle here. Thanks, Val. No sweat. Thank you for coming. Oh, sure. To us, yeah. Hello and welcome to Woodbridge, the best town around. My name is John McCormick. I'm the mayor of this great town, and we're here today for our annual event to recognize National Autism Acceptance and Awareness Month and to have our flag raising outside of the autism flag. I've got the members of the council here to my right. First up, we have Vera Patel covering 4th Ward of Island and Menlo Park Terrace. Next up, Council President, 1st Ward Councilwoman Sharon McAuliffe covering Woodbridge proper and C. Warren, then Debbie Meehan covering the 5th Ward of Colonia, Kyle Anderson's Councilman at Large. Yeah, go ahead and clap, Zach. 2nd Ward Councilman Howie Bauer covering Fords, Hope Lawn, and Caseby, and Dan Harris, Councilman at Large. To my left are our members of our community affairs from the police department. The sergeant in charge of that division, Brian Vella, recently promoted sergeant. And to his left is Nate Santoni. He's been working on that department or that division for a while. Keep going. We also want to invite some of our special guests up. We got Vinny, we got Brendan, we got Tina, we got Robert, we got Kenny, and we have Zach Attack right in front. Come on up, guys. It's over here. No, you got to go right here, right here. You got it, man. Just turn Zach right around. Yeah, perfect. So, not related to this, but we are putting up a handicapped accessible playground at School 14 in Fords. The school was knocked down. It was closed many years ago by the Board of Ed, and we are turning it into a handicapped accessible playground. Oh, see, he knows that. Zach lives right next to it. This is Lena, his mom, and she's a fierce advocate for kids with special needs. And we have promised that when we have the grand opening, probably not this year, probably early next year, it's a very big undertaking. We promise Zach is going to have the first ride, and there's going to be handicapped accessible swings where you can just bring the swing, the chair right onto the swing. He's the first one to use that playground. So let's hear for Zach. And I'm going to quickly read the proclamation. The Woodbridge Township Parents Organization Program for the Advancement of Children's Education, which is both POAC and PACE, along with teachers, professional staff, parents, and students from Matthew Jago School 28 and throughout Woodbridge Township, in concert with national, state, and local organizations and associations dedicated to the public awareness of autism, provide training courses, support groups, disability awareness events, and social events as part of our school and community-based outreach to raise awareness of the needs of families parenting autistic children. And whereas Woodbridge POAC and PACE organizations celebrate Autism Awareness Month with the annual Celebrate Differences campaign, designed to build a better awareness of the signs, symptoms, and realities of autism, and with the annual Autism Acceptance Month flag raising, which symbolizes a commitment to educate and inform the community about the impacts of autism and the efforts of the families of patients experiencing autism. Therefore, I, John McCormick, Mayor of the Township of Woodbridge, in concert with the Council, to hereby recognize the month of April in the year 2026 to be Autism Acceptance and Awareness Month throughout Woodbridge Township. How about that? And we're going to go out and we're going to raise the flag, but first I want to turn it over to our police officers. Kenny, you want to hold this for me?
Yes, certainly, Mr.
All right, pal. We're going to turn it over to Officer Sergeant Vella and Officer Santoni, and they've got the police cars outside dressed up for Autism Awareness Month. They're passing out patches. So this is a cool event, and the police department, as usual, is helping our community in so many different ways. Guys, take it over.
So like the mayor said, thank you, Mayor. I'm Sergeant Brian Vella. I work in the Community Affairs Division at Woodbridge Police Department. So I just want to give a big thanks to the mayor, the town council, and Director Niski, who affords us the opportunity to work with the autism members of our community to bring us acceptance, awareness, most importantly to learn, and so we could teach others how to come together, work together, and be there for each other. I just want you guys to know that we are here as a sense of security for you guys, to help you guys whenever you need, but we can also learn from you guys too. And as you'll see, a token of our appreciation, we had a local company wrap one of our patrol cars. It's our autism acceptance and awareness vehicle, and we drive that around the township of Woodbridge during the whole month for you guys. So, thank you to you guys, and we're here for you. So, appreciate it.
Thank you very much. You want to add? I figured. All right, so just one thing I want to add before we go outside. So there is a play at the Avenel Performing Arts Center on May 30th at 3, I think it's a Saturday, at 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. It's called Not the Right Mom. It's about one mother's misadventures in autism. It's a full spectrum comedy. Now, when I first saw this, I wasn't quite sure how to read it, but let me read what it says about it. A heartfelt solo comedy by Megan Dolan. One woman does the whole show about raising a son on the autism spectrum. With humor and honesty, she shares the chaos and joy that proves she's exactly the right mom. This show celebrates resilience, kindness, and the power of showing up. It speaks to anyone who's faced the challenges of parenthood, offering humor, reflection, and connection through shared experiences. This is about somebody who's a mom of an autistic son, and it's respectful. It's a comedy, but in a way that is very respectful. She's not going out and making fun of autistic people. That's not, I got to admit, my first reaction when I saw that was a little bit toward that. I'm thinking, why are we doing a show like this at our theater? But when you read it and you look at it, it's a very respectful look at the autistic population. So I want to say that it sounds like fun, and I'm going to just pass this out to the parents. It's going to go to PACE, it's going to go to POAC, it's already gone to Buddy Ball, it's already gone to the Woodbridge Stars program. So we're going to publicize this, and hopefully people come out to the theater. It's a beautiful theater. All right, anybody else want to say anything?
I'm not very sure.
Brendan, come on up. Somehow I knew you were going to raise your hand. Brendan works for us, right? How long have you been working for us? A couple of years, right?
Yeah, I've been working since 2022, almost 5 years.
A lot of years, all right.
And I have Asperger's, and my favorite characters are Thomas the Tank Engine and Mickey Mouse because they comfort me during tough times and they make me happy. And sometimes when it comes to Asperger's like me, sometimes some people like to take advantage of me. And it's just something I just kind of accepted and got used to. But I just want to say, because it's Autism Awareness Month, and being that I have Asperger's, I am proud to be me. And because Thomas is my favorite, little engines can do big things.
I thought I was your favorite character.
Yeah, you're Fred Flintstone, and I'm Thomas.
I'm Fred Flintstone now. Dabba dabba doo.
Beep beep.
All right, I take that. Right, I'm big, I'm wide, I'm mastic.
You could be the other Sir Topham hat.
All right, I like it. All right, Kenny, you want to say something?
Yes, sir.
Well, hi everyone. I'm so excited to be here every year for all of you. We can do this together anytime we want. Together, we can do whatever we like things together. Oh yeah!
Dan? All right, Dan Harris wants to say a few words.
Thank you, Mayor. Thanks for all for being here. I'm the liaison, or I guess sort of the unofficial liaison to the school board, having spent most of my public service career there. On behalf of the board, Sue Board and the board president, they have committee meetings going on this evening, so they're double booked and they have to do their jobs first. But I did want to give a shout out to the school district and all the great things that they do for students and children with autism. We have the RISE program that provides educational programming and workforce development training for students with learning disabilities and students with autism, age 18 through 21. And then the mayor, I want to give a shout out for what you do for the school district in partnership over at the Cypress Center on West Avenue. We have a Mayor Max Cafe, where we have students on an annual basis who, through that RISE program, have that workforce training and they learn skills, in the kitchen and customer service and things of that nature. And I was talking to the board, and I've been doing this for 12 years. Every year, we have more and more families with children with autism who move into Woodbridge Township. And it's not by coincidence. It's because of the caring nature of our community, people like the mayor and our council, as well as the great services and programs that we provide at the school district to help those students. Some school districts are losing special education population. We're growing, and it's because of the great things that the school district and our faculty and staff do each and every year. So I want to give a shout out to the school district. Thank you.
Everything's Dan said is true. All right, let's go out and raise a flag. What do you think? Let's do it, man.
Please join me in a moment of silence as we recognize the families who lost their homes in the recent fire. While we are grateful that no lives were lost, we acknowledge the hardship and disruption that they now face. Let us also take a moment to commend our first responders for their swift, courageous, and professional efforts in protecting the lives of our community.
Notice requirements of the open public meeting law have been satisfied concerning this meeting. The Home Tribune and the Star Ledger published a notice on November 13, 2025 and November 14, 2025 respectively. A copy was posted on the municipal bulletin board. It should be so noted in the minutes of this meeting. Councilman Anderson. Here. Councilman Bauer. Councilman Harris. Here. Councilwoman Meehan. Here. Councilman Patel. Here. Councilman Small. Here. Councilman Spiller. Here. Vice President De Jesus and President McCullough.
Here.
Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from April 7, 2026?
Motion?
Second.
I'm sorry, was that Mr. Small?
Yes.
Wait, yeah, thank you. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Beginning with second reading ordinances this evening, we'll start with letter A, which is a bond ordinance authorizing the making of various public improvements and the acquisition of new additional replacement equipment and machinery and vehicles in an amount of $7,360,000. Can I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letter A only. Hearing no comment from the public, can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. We're going to take letters B, C, D, and E all by consent. These are amendments to Chapter 7, which is our traffic ordinances. In summary, the current parking restrictions over near the train trestle on Green Street has parking restrictions from Monday through Friday. They're on both sides. They're going to change to Sunday through Saturday. That's what all four are for. So with that said, can I get a motion that these four ordinances be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letters B, C, D, and E. B, C, D, and E only. Hearing no comment from the public, could I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinances be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. We're also going to take F, G, H, I, and J by consent. These are various ordinances with regards to different properties. I'm going to take them all at once because they're all related. The first one is with acquiring property in the Colonias section of town, preserving it for recreational space. The second is Mary Fee Lane in Hope Lawn, again, with regards to the public rights to same public space. The third is in the Hope Lawn section, block 3.02, lot 1.03, with regards to conveyance to the Board of Education. The letter I is also with regards to conveying lots to the Woodbridge Township Board of Education. And J, which is the last one, is to designate block and lot 3.04, lot 1.01 and 1.03 in the Hope Lawn section of the township, creating again and preserving recreational space. With that said, can I get a motion to take F, G, H, I, and J up on second and third readings and the public hearing be opened?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council?
Mr. Mitch, I must abstain on this item.
So noted. Any other comments? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? The public hearing is now open on F, G, H, I, and J. Hearing no comment from the public, can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinances be submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion. Motion.
Did I?
Second.
Thank you. Any questions? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. And finally, letter K, which is an ordinance amending chapter 150. This is a rewrite of our stormwater control ordinances in full. Can I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be opened?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letter K only. Hearing no comment from the public, can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. First reading ordinances, we will take letters L, M, and N by consent. Can I get a motion that these ordinances be passed on first reading, published on the township website on April 22nd, 2026, with notice of public hearing to be held on May 5th, 2026 at 6 p.m.?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. And finally, Madam President, resolutions listed 1 through 14 are before you. Could I get a motion to approve 1 through 14 by consent?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council?
Mr. Mitch, I'll be abstaining from number 13.
So noted. Any other questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mitch. We'll now go into the public session of the meeting. When approaching the microphone, please state your name and what section of the town you live in, and we will have a one-time opportunity to speak. All members of the audience shall adhere to the Township's Decorum Ordinance, which is posted at the entrance to the council chambers. The public session allows for 5 minutes. This includes remarks by the speaker and any response by the council president or administration. When there is 1 minute left, I will alert the speaker to emphasize any remaining questions or points they may have. When the 5-minute period has passed, all speakers are to leave the microphone and return to their chairs. All videotaping must be taken in the designated area. There will be no interruptions from your chair. Please make sure there are no signs or posters in the aisles, walkways, or exit access. The public session portion of the meeting is a comment and/or question-answer interaction between the council president and the speakers. The council president presides over the meeting. Thank you.
Are there any comments from the public this evening? No comments from the public? Could I get a motion?
Motion.
Good afternoon, everybody. John Batari. I'm here, but 2 years ago, I suggested that we go have an awful lot of homeless people in Woodbridge Township. And I said, why don't we have any kind of a location for the, to put those people in case of emergency? At that time, I believe, Councilman Ficarra said, well, in the Blue Nights, we take 2 per double to YMCA. Then about 2 weeks ago, I believe, I heard about it and I looked into it. It was a Woodbridge patch. They said that the Woodbridge is willing to purchase a piece of property, I believe, in Oakland section of Woodbridge for a large amount of money, which I was in favor of it. But then I find out the same property is supposed to be used for the domestic violence. I don't believe that you could put people that belong to the domestic violence situation. I know people that had this problem, that kind. We didn't just know what happened 2-3 weeks in Virginia. There's a lot of problem over there. I don't think we should be involved in such a thing as domestic violence, because I believe in Brunswick County, it does have a location for domestic violence. I do recommend, and I agree, I think we should have something for the homeless people, for the people in case of emergency. But we should not do anything with domestic violence. We have the security, we have to have a law department, it's a lot of problem, and we know what could happen. So please, do not go into that kind of a situation and step with domestic violence. And besides, do not put people like that with the people, with the homeless people. It's a two different kinds of problems. So please, don't do it, but I do believe it should need something for the homeless people in case of emergency. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other comments from the public this evening?
I'll wait.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the Woodbridge Council. My name is David, and I'm here representing the Team Rudd Foundation. Thank you for giving me a moment of your time tonight. I'm here to share something that I believe is deeply important, not just for our community, but also for the message we send out about who we are as a township. The Team Rudd Foundation is really proud to be co-hosting an event with the No Hate campaign alongside our incredible community partner, Joy's Dance House, on June 28th from 12 to 2. Since 2008, the No Hate campaign has traveled across the country and around the world, spreading messages of love, acceptance, and equality. What began as a response to the fight for marriage equality has grown into something so much bigger. It's a global movement that stands for the dignity and inclusion of all people, regardless of who they are and who they love. And now, for the very first time ever, this international campaign is coming to New Jersey, right here in our community, for the first time. I truly believe this speaks volumes about Woodbridge Township. It shows that we're a place where people care, where people show up, where we have an opportunity to lead with compassion. And the truth is, these days, there isn't enough love and support going around, so events like this do matter. They remind us that people are seen, that they're valued, and that they belong. So I'm here tonight to respectfully ask for your help in spreading the word. Whether that's through township communications or community outreach or simply just amplifying the message, the more people who know, the more powerful this event becomes. I also want to take a moment to thank this council and community partners for incredible support you've shown in the past. This year, our Hearts and Hands Toy Drive was able to collect over 3,750 toys. So thank you guys so much. That kind of impact doesn't happen alone, and that's all because of community. So we're especially grateful to Joy's Dance House for not only hosting the upcoming event, but also for their participation in the 2025 Toy Drive, as well as to Debbie Meehan and the Woodbridge Senior Billiards Center for their Senior Billiards Club, for their continued generosity and support. Woodbridge has always been a community that shows up for one another. This is just another opportunity to do that. So to lead with a kindness, to stand for inclusion, to remind people that love has a place here. So thank you again for your time and for everything you all are doing for the township.
Thank you, David. If you have a flyer or anything, you could send it to us and we can get it out to you.
Yeah,
Okay?
we'll do that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other comments this evening?
Hi, good evening. My name is, can you hear me? My name is Lisa Kiersgaard. I am actually a former resident of Woodbridge Township, but I had spent many years here attending Woodbridge High School, Ford's Middle. I have family who still lives over on Lewis, and I am here to support the TNR program. I used to work at U-Haul for 6 years, and it became a very powerful movement where we, and I also, I believe, Pat worked with Arlene Rhodes, and I feel that there should be a implemented, you know, community effort to help with this problem. The animals did not ask to be out there, but I did do my numbers, and there are over 36,000 homes in Woodbridge Township, and with a small, increment, I figured $1 a month per household would bring over $400,000 to the program, in addition to even helping the animal center that all these rescues need. It would help with downsizing in the population, because over time, the colonies will be healthier, and the spay and neuter program will eliminate the excessive amount of babies in these rescues, these foster facilities, and I would just hope that you take that into consideration. That is why I'm here today.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Are there any other comments from the public?
Marge Petro, Woodbridge. Hi, everybody.
Hello, Marge.
To the mic, please.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
My allergies, believe it or not, I'm allergic to cats. A few things I want to go over. Okay, we need a TNR program. We all know that, let's face it. We're getting more and more friendly cats when we trap, and kittens galore. I have 13 at my house right now, 4 moms. Super friendly, so there'll be a update. We go to PetSmart every week, and we get, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We go to PetSmart every week. We have a lot of adoptions, so we're doing well in that respect. But a TNR program, why can't we just join together and just bite the bullet? We have the van coming every month. We're having it on the 27th. We're already filled. Why can't we just do TNR together? It's $135 per cat, which includes your spay neuter. Rabies is temporarily supplied, please treat. It comes to a private residence home. I mean, we're doing everything we possibly can to cut down and stop the cycle of these kittens being born. They're unwanted, they're sick. I'm always at the vet with sick kittens. So we really need to work together on something. Anyone? No. Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
I
Mark.
wanted to bring this up. I'm sure this is state law, because I got 3 calls about this. So I'm assuming it pertains to Woodbridge Township also, where it says, community cats are not illegal. They cannot be removed simply because someone complains. I've gotten 3 calls from township residents where they were ticketed for feeding cats. Okay, that's one thing. But removing the cats, like where do you put them? It's very, very difficult to relocate a colony of cats. So I wanted to know, I'm sure this pertains to Woodbridge too. So if someone complains that there's feral cats, what's the procedure? What does the township do? Do they go and trap the cats? Do they fix them? What do they do?
That's the health department that takes care of that. We can find out, the health department that's under their jurisdiction to give you that information. So what I can do is, we can find this information out and let you know what they do.
I wanted to know, like, say if you take the cat,
Mhm.
you trap the cats, and you fix them, do they go back to where they came from? See, that's the question.
Yes,
Okay, so
usually
that's what
if
they do,
not,
right? Yeah.
depending on if we TNR and we bring them in, like a lot of the ones when you see our TNR numbers, same point you just said, if they're adoptable kittens, we keep them in and they look to adopt them out. Otherwise, we give the trap to the homeowner, trap, TNR, and then they'll release it again.
Okay, by the way, our rescue, we're down society, we're hitting the 500 mark on TNR since, over 225, and up until now, not counting what we're gonna get on Monday. So I just truly hope that you just work with us. Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Marge.
Are there any other comments from the public?
evening. Arlene Rhodes, Fords. To offset what Mark just said, the TNR numbers that were performed by the shelter for the last 15 months are 68. She did 500 and the shelter did 68. I'm here on a different reason. I feel there's some type of retaliation going on with what we're doing as far as TNR and cats. I have 3 people that I fully TNR'd their cats in their backyard. And all 3 of them are now being fined from the township saying that the cats are nuisance. They weren't nuisance when they weren't fixed, but now that I got involved with the people, they're nuisance, and they have been taken to court and charged $1,000 each. So if there's some type of retaliation, I need to know this. And I see Mr. Nolan's here.
There is
so-
no retaliation, I can assure you.
Well, I don't know about that because.
Typically, in these cases, when that happens, it's because neighbors are complaining.
Right, but they didn't complain prior to them being fixed, which is a little.
I don't know that to be true, and I'm not sure you do, but you'd be surprised.
Well, they weren't ticketed prior to that.
That may be so, and that's probably a coincidence, but nobody's going out
For all
because
3 of the people?
we don't know who you're TNRing.
Well, they give them the medicals, because I always give them
Who gives it to
that.
who?
They give to the ACOs to show that they have been fixed.
Okay.
They have to have medicals to show that they're fixed and fully vetted and have rabies shot. So they see my name on the medical.
Nobody's going out because
Okay,
they're
well,
being TNR'd.
then
If
another
they're going out,
instance-
it's usually because the neighbors complain.
If I could read this, I'm not going to use names, but this was on a person who works for the municipality's Facebook page, and they're both volunteers or board members on the Woodbridge Animal Group. And they wrote, "This is me talking here. I am sick of the TNR dingbats around these ways. They know who they are. I'm hoping this screenshot makes it to everyone. They damn well know the shelter has strict safety guidelines and animal limits to keep disease from spreading to people and other animals. But in the interest of self-importance, they fail to mention it." And then they speak about a woman taking kittens, and they say, "Honey, that ain't TNR, it's cherry picking. Come at me, let's roll." Yeah.
Okay.
All
And
right.
what's your question?
My question is
The
how.
mayor didn't write that, the township didn't write that, somebody on Facebook wrote that.
Well, an employee of the township.
Okay, well, you want to tell us the name, we'll look into it.
Oh, I sent it to everyone, they know who wrote it.
They weren't authorized by the township to.
Well, yeah, but I worked for the state of New Jersey, as you know.
Mhm.
We're not allowed to put stuff like that on Facebook, or even on our own personal pages. We are not allowed to do things like that.
Okay.
You
You didn't
know?
tell them to put it there, we didn't put it there, somebody
All right,
put it there. We certainly look into it.
thank you.
Same,
Thank
yeah.
you.
I didn't receive that. I don't think the mayor did.
I did not.
So if you want to send that over
I
to
sent
Jimmy's
it to the
point, we'll
mayor,
look
got
into
it in an
anything.
email. I sent it to the mayor.
The mayor probably got 20,000 emails, so if you want to
Can
give it to
you-
him.
yeah.
Or just provide it to him, or provide it to
I'm
us.
sorry,
If you just provide it to us, we'll make sure,
Okay.
I don't want it to get lost in a million
Well, I
emails.
sent it to Howie, I sent it to Kyle,
Yes.
and I think I sent it to Corey already. So.
Are there any other comments or questions from the public this evening?
One more?
I don't check my That's all right. Facebook message.
My name is Gail Rizwersky. I'm from Island. I don't have a lot to say, but just from hearing this over and over and over again, it's just common sense. If 500 cats were TNR'd, can you imagine if those cats were allowed to be un-TNR'd? How many they would have reproduced by now? And by doing TNR, not only are you eliminating this influx of all these unwanted kittens, but the ones that are being TNR'd, they're being taken care of, they're being vaccinated. They're not going to be spreading disease. It just makes sense that if you TNR 500 cats, times how many 5 or 6 they're going to have in a litter, how many are you eliminating from being here a year from now? You know, and then 5 or 6 from that litter are going to produce how many more kittens? So if you nip it in the bud, you're cutting down on the amount of strays and you're cutting out the amount of disease that's running around. You know, I don't understand how anybody could have a problem with the TNR program. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments from the public? There are no other comments. Can I get a motion that the public comment portion be closed?
Mr.
Motion.
Mayor, you have a comment?
Can I just close
No,
this
no,
out?
no.
Okay.
Second? Yeah,
Okay.
I got a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor?
Now I have a comment.
Thank you.
So I want to just touch base on what Mr. Vitarik said, because as usual, most of it is incorrect, if not almost all of it. We are not building that shelter in, that is being built privately. The company who was building it was intending it to be an apartment building with 28 units for general rent. The Raritan Bay YMCA is purchasing the building. Not only did we not build it, we're not buying it. So I know he'll be here in a couple of weeks saying the same thing over and over again. We didn't build it, we're not buying it. We're contributing toward the purchase with money from the Affordable Housing Trust Fund, about $3.7 million of the $7 or $8 million we have in that fund. So our contribution is not even from property taxes, not from tax dollars from residents or businesses. This is not a homeless shelter. Never was planned to be, it's not. There was a very irresponsible story written after our State of the Township speech where we said, we bragged about this. I think it's wonderful what's happening here. They're putting permanent supportive housing is what it's called. It's not a homeless shelter. People can't just show up and say, I need a room. Everybody in that facility will have a lease and they'll be permanent residents until they move out, and then someone else will come in who qualifies. It is not a homeless shelter. The story came out, what it said in the State of the Township speech was it's for people in need and for emergency homeless, which means a fire, which we just had, and we just saw 16 families, 15 families, one unit was vacant. 15 families in seconds lost their home, lost where they lived. All they had is the clothes on their back. That's the kind of, there's been floods in Jacob's Landing, there's been other things. I said emergency homeless was what we said in the speech. The story was written and published before anybody called us for comment. I don't know where you learned that in journalism school. You generally call for comment and get the facts straight before you write a story. So that was a very, very irresponsible story. This is for what they call housing vulnerable families, people with chronic illnesses, emergency displacements, which, like I said, it's not intended to be for domestic violence victims. There's other places that handle that, but it's not intended to be that. Doesn't mean that they can't be placed there. They qualify as emergency homeless, but it's not built for that. So I just want to make it clear, we don't own it, we didn't build it, we're simply contributing toward the purchase. And we get credit for our affordable housing requirement from the state of New Jersey by the fact that we're going to have these units in town. We're not going to get all units because it's being paid for by the counties contributing, the State Department of Community Affairs. It looks like the city of Perth Amboy, even though it's in Woodbridge, but it's right across the street from Perth Amboy. So it looks like they're contributing $1 million. The Y is contributing the money. The Y is going to run it. The Y is going to make sure that everybody has the programs and the services they need in that facility. So it's a wonderful thing for Woodbridge. I wish we could do more of them, because people in need a place to stay, need a place to live. They have nowhere, they come out of Raritan Bay Medical Center and have nowhere to go. Those people might get housing here. There's going to be medical on staff. There's going to be social services on staff. It's a wonderful facility run by the Raritan Bay YMCA and Steve Jobin, who runs that, who is an amazing individual that cares about people more than anybody I've ever met in this line of business. So it's not a homeless shelter. I don't want to hear in 2 weeks that it is, or 4 weeks, or every 2 weeks when people come to meetings and repeat the same thing over and over again. This is a wonderful facility for Woodbridge Township. When we had the opportunity, we jumped on it. If someone came in with another one, we would jump on it, because we need places like this for people in need. And it is, once again, not a homeless shelter. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Mayor. Director Niski, I believe you have a comment?
Thank you, Council President. I'm aware of recent videos and reports showing teenagers riding bicycles recklessly, including a specific incident on Woodbridge Center Drive where individuals were observed traveling into oncoming traffic. This type of behavior is extremely dangerous and poses a risk to both cyclists and motorists. Cyclists in New Jersey are required to follow the same rules of the road as motor vehicles, and this conduct is a violation of traffic laws. Our police department has long been productive in education, starting in elementary school and continuing through high school, and we will continue to address this issue through both enforcement and education. Officers will be actively monitoring these behaviors, and violations will be addressed accordingly. This type of reckless behavior will not be tolerated. Riding into oncoming traffic places lives at risk, and officers will be directed to take the appropriate enforcement actions, including issuing summonses and parental notification to address and deter this. Thank you, Council President.
Council President, if I could add, all 5 middle schools have agreed to have an assembly between now and the end of the school year, as soon as possible, actually, because the weather's getting nice. Our police department will go to all 5 middle schools and explain to them what is proper when it comes to bikes, and also with the rules changing on e-bikes, we want to make sure the kids know exactly what they're allowed to do. We have kids coming to school with bikes that are e-bikes that are illegal. So we have to make sure people know, and that we have to hit the kids that are the most utilization of the e-bikes, and the ones that are doing what they shouldn't be doing. It is mostly middle school age, so we're going to hit them all with an educational seminar sponsored by our police department.
Thank you. Thank you both. Okay, we're going to go into our agendas at this point. Just switch my glasses. Okay, my agenda is in order at this time. I just have a few announcements to make. Number 2, the Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber of Commerce golf outing, it's that time again. The 62nd Chamber golf outing is coming up on June 8th and at the Colonial Country Club, and the early bird registration is open. Also, coming up on May 16th, the Chamber's second annual street fair will be held on Main Street from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. If you're interested in being a vendor, contact the Chamber for details. Also on May 16th, hop on the New Jersey Arts and Music Express and enjoy a day of live music, arts, and community fun. It all starts at 11 a.m. with a brass band at the Woodbridge train station. This will be an enjoyable day for everyone, so please come out and get yourself involved in the arts. And I just wanted to say that last Saturday was Earth Day. We had an amazing event held at the Acacia Center, and I want to thank everyone who participated in making this event very successful. Finally, tomorrow is Administrative Professionals Day, and I'd like to just thank everybody for the wonderful job that they do, and thank you for all of your efforts. That's all I have today. Thank you. Liz is not here. Corey?
It's okay. Thank you,
Sorry.
Council President Paul. Item number 8, Cloverleaf redevelopment. I'd just like to congratulate all the team members and owners at Norman's Hallmark Store on their grand opening ribbon cutting ceremony they had on April the 9th. Located in the Cloverleaf Shopping Center, it brings a new retail environment that is the first in Woodbridge. It has all the feel of the old OLE, not OLD, old school Hallmark store with today's atmosphere, so good luck to them. Mr. Mitch, if you can please add item number 17 to my agenda and name it Peterson Commons, please. Peterson Commons is a new affordable senior and veteran housing community 55 and plus with a preference for veterans, coming soon to Avenel. This thoughtfully designed 60-unit development continues a successful partnership between Penrose and Woodbridge Township. Named in honor of Carl Peterson, a local resident and World War I Medal of Honor recipient and Avenel resident. The community reflects a deep commitment to serving seniors and veterans while celebrating the area's history. Occupancy is expected in spring of 2027, and I will update it as it gets closer and they are accepting rental applications. If everyone remembers, we had Penrose here last year to do a presentation because we needed to vote on it, and I said it then, this is for our veterans. Councilman Harris had asked the question, a lot of times affordable housing unfortunately gets a negative connotation, which is a shame because people need assistance. These are for our veterans, our seniors, but more specifically our veterans. They served our country, they need help, and it's wonderful that we're there working with Penrose to help that out, so thank you. The rest of my agenda is in order. God bless America. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. Councilman Anderson?
Thank you, Council President. Want to make a couple of announcements. On May 29th, the Rec Department will be hosting a baseball trip. If you want to see the Mets continue their losing streak versus the Marlins. The bus leaves at 4 p.m. on May 29th. The tickets are $95. We'll be leaving at 4 p.m. sharp, and you can purchase the tickets on Community Pass. The Middlesex College has their open house on April 26th from 10 to 1 p.m. I would also like to thank Middlesex College, 100 Black Women, and Dr. Passion Mas Hassan for inviting me to be a part of a very important civic discussion with the Mayor of Highland Park, Union Mayor, and former Mayor of East Orange. It was advancing civic engagement and community, so thank you very much. You guys are doing that as well, coming here and always enlightening us with information. Tooling around the township is this weekend on Saturday. If you are interested in volunteering, the houses have been selected already, but if you're interested in volunteering, you guys have a nice group there. You could pick a yard and help out. 732-634-4500, extension 6445. And that's always helping some of those that can't get out and do some yard work, or they may be building a wheelchair ramp for one of their loved ones. We'd like to congratulate the Independent Club of Colonia. I see one of their members here, Mr. Morgan. They held their postponed Black History Month event this past weekend, and that was at the Acacia Center. They honored Officer of the Year, Thomas Hendricks. I would like to thank the police department for also working very closely to bring up the widow, Sarah Williams, of Alvin P. Williams, and her daughter, Alvina. They were there to see the first award presented, and congratulations on naming that award. And I think that is it. And I would also like to congratulate Woodbridge Township for working with our Woodbridge schools and our rec department for hosting their first, it was an open job fair for our high school students. And Woodbridge Township had many of our departments out there meeting with students and discussing with them about resume writing and preparing for their next phase of their life and getting into the job force. So congratulations, that's all I have.
Thank you. Councilman Bauer?
Thank you, Council President. My agenda is in order, and I have no announcements tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Councilman Small?
Thank you, Madam President. My agenda is in order. Just God bless America.
Thank you. Councilwoman Meehan?
Thank you, Council President. My agenda is also in order. I'd just like to thank everybody that came out this past Saturday to help support the family of Woodbridge Police Officer Andrew Katowski's 2-year-old daughter, Adeline, who is battling a rare form of pediatric cancer. I'd like to thank the Colonia VFW members who spent 2 days preparing our food and cooked the spaghetti and the sauce, the Colonia Firehouse for hosting us, Grand Centurion, who donated most of our food, and Strickland Steakhouse for donating the meat. Also, thank you to Diorsi's Bakery and La Bamba, is that the name? La Bombonniere Bakery. Thank you, Councilman Small, who stepped out for coordinating that. Dunkin' Donuts for supplying all the desserts, and everyone that donated a basket, made a monetary donation, or simply showed up to have a plate of spaghetti to support our police officer. Everything you did mattered. And lastly, special thank you to the group that worked hard to pull this together in 3 weeks. Woodbridge Police Officer Mike Harris and Doug Sione, Colonia VFW members Owen O'Donnell and Ed Wagner, Colonia Fireman Peter Joanne Polakowski, Teresa McGovern. Your hard work for someone most of you have never met did not go unnoticed. We hate to have to put these dinners together, but when we do, it's humbling to see the support of the community come out and support people, and even if they don't know who they are. So thank you once again for everyone that was part of that day, and please keep Adeline in your prayers as she begins her chemo this week. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Councilman Patel?
Yeah. Also, thank you, Council President. My agenda is also in order, but I have few announcements. The development at Metro Park Station continues to move quickly. About 2 weeks ago, the traffic signal on Middlesex Turnpike just before the Wood Avenue intersection was removed, and the new signal is now active to serve the two newly completed buildings at the station. The new building that will house Hackensack Meridian Health appears to complete, and teams are currently in the moving phase. Based upon the activity, the headquarters transition is expected to wrap up within the next few weeks. An official opening date for the on-site urgent care and other services has not been announced yet. Also, Woodbridge Township's biannual free tree giveaway is coming up. You may have received a letter in the mail, and if you have reserved a free tree and live in Islin or Menlo Park Terrace, the pickup date is scheduled for Saturday, May 2nd, between the hours of 9 a.m. and 12 p.m. from the Indiana Avenue Elementary School 18, located at 256 Indiana Avenue. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Harris?
Thank you, Council President. Just a couple items for my agenda. Item number one, just want to thank Director Niski and the Mayor for partnering with the school district on bike safety for our youth. Very important. Also under item number one, under the school district, we have a partnership between the municipal government and the school district concerning summer enrichment classes. Fourth or fifth year going now, where school district teachers teach a number of subscription-based courses over the summer at Woodbridge Middle School. It's happening again this summer over the course of 2 weeks, August the 3rd through August the 7th, and again August 17th through the 21st. Classes range between $75 and $150. 39 classes comprising on subjects such as science labs, movie making, robotics, writing, painting, acting, and so on and so forth. Just go on the Township Recreational website or email youth services at twp.woodbridge.nj.us or call the Recreation Department at 732-596-4048. It's a nice little pamphlet where you as parents can read up on all the great classes that are offered and sign your sons or daughters up, keep them sharp over the summer months. And then finally, just a thank you. Debbie had a great event the other day, really nice job. I also want to thank those who volunteered at the semi-annual Colonia Cleanup, the Spring Colonia Cleanup that was held on April the 4th. We had about 90 volunteers. We collected about 30 bags of trash and debris. Thank you to all the volunteer groups and to the township for supporting our efforts. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. Mr. Mitch?
Thank you, Madam President. My agenda is in order.
Mayor?
Thank you, Council President. I just want to recognize and thank the Woodbridge Police Department and the Woodbridge Fire Department, which doesn't report to us, but they're independent, but still everybody works together. The fire in Plaza Drive Apartments last Friday, the police department, as usual, because they're on the road all the time in a car ready to go, responded to that call. Thank God that woman smelled the smoke in the fire and called right away. And then helped, I'm told, helped get people out of their apartments. The cops got there first and immediately began banging on doors, knocking on doors, kicking in doors, whatever they had to do. And they got everybody out of that building in a matter of minutes, probably just in time, because it was a very quick spreading fire that destroyed most of the units. In any event, none of them are inhabitable right now, whether it was from smoke or fire or water. Just an amazing effort. And then the Woodbridge Fire Department came and knocked that fire down, I'm told, in record time. Not a fire expert, I don't know much about it, but I know they did a great job. I was there after it was all over, not over, but the fire was out, and I watched these people interact. I watched the fire guys, the chiefs, and it's just amazing the way they all work together. And you got Bobby Minkler as the chief, and he's telling people what to do now, and they cared right away for the victims. They were all sent to the leasing office. The Red Cross was amazing. They provided them with a list of every possible person they could need to contact, from driver's licenses and registration to passports to any other documents. And it was just a phenomenal effort. The owners, Atlantic Realty, we have an ordinance that says if somebody loses their apartment, through no fault of their own, and you're the landlord, you're responsible for finding them another unit in your complex first, if there are any, in any other complex you own in the town, if there are any, and then in any other complex you own outside of town. Halpern fortunately owned, I don't know, a dozen or 15 apartment complexes in Woodbridge back from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and they immediately got everybody a place to stay. So between the person who called it in, the Woodbridge Police, the Woodbridge Fire, the Atlantic Realty, and the Red Cross, it was an amazing effort, and it's absolutely miraculous that nobody died in that fire. I can't tell you what it would have been like. 50 people in total in those 15 units, including a 1-month-old baby. There was a 1-month-old baby that was with his mom and dad that got out, barely. So thank you to Woodbridge PD, Woodbridge Fire Department, everybody for what they did. It made us proud to see that these people are part of our township in emergency services. It was just marvelous. Thank you.
Thank you. And I understand that all the pets were taken out also, no pets were injured.
Oh yeah, there were, you wouldn't believe how many pets were taken out.
Birds,
You wouldn't
cats,
believe
dogs,
some of the
everything.
exotic pets that were
yeah.
taken out.
So every animal was taken out and
I didn't
safe
think,
also.
some of those things, I didn't think were pets.
Which
So I'm
is
not,
very good,
I'm
too.
not, the health department, I'm not saying anything about what people had as pets, but they were all saved.
Everything was safe, so
I'm
thank you.
not saying any more. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Thank you. Deputy Business Administrator Wagner?
Thank you, Madam President. Next meeting, we'll have tax and sewer overpayments as well as a parking permit refund. Thank you.
Thank you. Director Niski?
Thank you, Council President. I have one item on my agenda, an ordinance proposal for a stop sign on Vine Street. That's it.
Thank you. Director Darden?
Thank you, Council President. Nothing this evening?
Thank you. Director Brew?
Thank you, Council President. My agenda is in order.
Thank you. Legal?
Nothing this evening, thank you.
Thank you.
A motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Thank you.